Kampala, Uganda, was alive with color and sound. Amid its bustling streets, three friends, Nalongo, Juma, and Sanyu, often dreamed of breaking free from routine. Nalongo, bold and adventurous, always wanted to explore the unknown. Juma, thoughtful and deeply curious about history, was drawn to uncovering hidden stories. Sanyu, the youngest, radiated optimism and excitement, eager to chase the extraordinary. One evening, as they gathered around a small fire in Nalongo's backyard, she proposed, "Let's do something unforgettable, something to leave our mark." Juma, intrigued, suggested the Rwenzori Mountains, a region of wild beauty and untold mysteries. The trio agreed, and over the next few days, they meticulously planned their journey, gathering supplies and preparing for adventure. Their journey to the mountains was thrilling. Narrow roads hugged steep cliffs, and the scenery became more breathtaking with every turn. Along the way, they stopped in small villages, listening to locals share stories of the region's mysteries. After days of travel, they arrived at Keboli, a serene village at the base of the Rwenzori Mountains. The air was cool, and the village felt untouched by time. It was in Keboli that they first heard whispers about the Igangansosi Grove. Villagers spoke in hushed tones, describing it as a sacred place guarded by ancient spirits. Intrigued, the friends sought out Opio, a wise and seasoned guide. Opio agreed to lead them but warned, "The grove is alive. Its spirits demand respect. If you disturb them, the consequences will follow." As they ventured into the forest, the atmosphere grew charged. The trees stood tall and ancient, their trunks marked with strange symbols. Sunlight filtered through the canopy, casting a soft glow on the forest floor. Opio shared stories of the grove's history, explaining how it had been a place of enlightenment for shamans and seekers but also a site of punishment for the arrogant. The deeper they went, the more the forest seemed alive. Streams whispered, and the air buzzed with energy. Then, in a mossy clearing, Nalongo's eyes caught the glint of a small relic, intricately carved and pulsing with a mysterious aura. Despite Opio's warnings, she quietly slipped it into her pocket, believing it was a harmless keepsake. When they left the grove, the friends were euphoric. The experience had been awe-inspiring, and they felt as though they had touched something extraordinary. Nalongo, however, couldn't shake a nagging feeling, but she kept it to herself. Back in Kampala, life resumed. The group reminisced about their adventure, but Nalongo began to feel unsettled. At first, it was subtle, a sense of unease in her apartment, the feeling of being watched. Then the nightmares began. Each night, she dreamed of the grove. Spirits with sorrowful eyes appeared, their whispers accusing. The dreams grew more vivid, the spirits' voices louder and angrier. Nalongo became convinced the relic was the cause, but instead of confiding in her friends, she decided to sell it, hoping to rid herself of the problem. Through discreet inquiries, she found a buyer, a man named Suleiman who dealt in rare artifacts. They met at a dimly lit cafe on the city's outskirts. When Nalongo unveiled the relic, Suleiman's eyes widened. "This is extraordinary," he said. "Collectors would pay a fortune for something like this." Nalongo hesitated. The guilt gnawed at her, but she pushed the thought aside. "I just want it gone," she said firmly. Suleiman handed her a stack of cash, and the relic changed hands. For a moment, she felt relief. But the nightmares didn't stop. They grew worse. The spirits became more vivid, their faces twisted in anger. During the day, shadows loomed in the corners of her vision, and she heard faint whispers that made her shudder. Sleep-deprived and overwhelmed, she became paranoid, convinced the spirits were following her. One evening, unable to bear it any longer, Nalongo invited Juma and Sanyu to her apartment. They noticed her disheveled appearance and haunted eyes. After some hesitation, she confessed, her voice trembling. "I stole something from the grove," she admitted. "A relic. I thought it wouldn't matter, but now, it's haunting me." She broke into tears, her guilt and fear spilling out. Juma and Sanyu listened in stunned silence. Sanyu asked gently, "Where is the relic now?" Nalongo looked away. "I sold it. I thought it would end the nightmares, but they've only gotten worse." Realizing the gravity of the situation, the group decided to return to Opio for guidance. When they told him what had happened, his expression darkened. "This is serious," he said gravely. "You've disturbed the spirits, and without the relic, the grove cannot be appeased. The longer it remains missing, the angrier they will become." Determined to make things right, the friends began their search for the relic. They visited markets, traders, and collectors, showing pictures of the relic and asking questions. Some traders recognized it but couldn't trace its buyer. At one market, they found replicas of the relic being sold to confuse potential buyers. Meanwhile, Nalongo's condition worsened. Her nightmares turned into vivid hallucinations. She saw spirits with twisted faces, heard their whispers growing louder, and felt their presence closing in on her. One night, while camping by Lake Bonuniai, she woke up screaming, convinced the spirits had risen from the water to confront her. Despite their best efforts, the friends couldn't find the relic. Leads dried up, and frustration set in. Nalongo, consumed by guilt and fear, withdrew further. Her hallucinations became so intense that she could no longer distinguish reality from the supernatural. In desperation, Juma and Sanyu admitted her to a mental health facility, hoping she would find peace. There, Nalongo continued to be tormented by the spirits, her cries echoing through the halls, "Find it. Take it back to the grove." Juma and Sanyu vowed to continue the search. They spoke to shamans, historians, and traders, but the trail remained cold. Years passed, and the relic remained elusive. Nalongo's condition deteriorated further. Her mind became trapped in anguish, and she spent her days in a fog of medication and despair. Her story became a cautionary tale, a warning of what happens when the sacred is disrespected. The spirits of the Igangansosi Grove were unforgiving, and the theft of the relic unleashed a curse that could not be undone. Even as Juma and Sanyu continued their search, the relic's absence ensured that the grove's wrath would endure, a haunting reminder that some mistakes have consequences that last forever.
We'd love to hear your thoughts on this video. Drop a comment below and share your perspective. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like, share, and spread the word. Your support helps us bring you more intriguing content. Hit that subscribe button for more stories that inspire and captivate. Thank you for watching.